Rockwood Connects, the educational, informational, and entertaining podcast of the Rockwood School District. This is season 2, and I'm Cassandra Suggs.
And I'm Emily Schrader.
And joining us today, as always, to tip off the year is our wonderful Superintendent Dr. Cain. Let's see what he's all about this day today. Hello, Dr. Cain.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good to see you.
Mrs. Schrader, how are you?
Yes,
Long
fantastic.
summer break.
Thank
Now
you.
you remember the last name.
Yes.
I'm impressed.
Yes.
Emily got married, by the way, if you didn't know.
May
That I
26th.
did. You got it. Very impressive.
Can't get these past.
All right, so thank you, Dr. Cain, for being here today.
My pleasure.
So we had you on last season for our first episode, and we're excited to have you back. And we know as superintendent, you work year-round. But what are some things that you were able to do over the course of summer break, professionally and personally, to get ready for this upcoming school year?
So professionally, I will admit I wasn't always wearing a tie, which may seem like a small thing, but that is a bit of a gift. But we were really focused on projecting and beginning to frame where we want to go with our comprehensive school improvement plan this upcoming school year. That was a significant lift. It's not a lift by one, but a lift by many to help begin to frame where is it that we hope to go as a school district. And I'm sure we'll talk about that in more detail later on in our conversation today. Personally, had some time to step away from the district.
Very important.
And that's always fun to do. The four of us were together, and it's always fun to step away as a family and enjoy some time as well.
Fantastic.
That is great. Can't get that time back. All right, Dr. Cain, so when you came back, there was a beautiful video that was produced. And in it, the word promise kept coming up. Can you tell us a little bit more about that promise and why we have a theme around that this year?
It is not just a quantitative thought when we talk about this conversation of promise. There's also some gut-based feel that I have. This year just feels promising. Above and beyond the work of the Dignity and Belonging cohort and training that we've had, and we'll come back and I'm sure talk about that at some point this afternoon as well. This year simply it's a feel. It's a feeling of promise, and there truly are better and brighter days in front of us. But that's not because of the work of any one individual. Collectively, across all four quadrants of our school district, we simply feel and are moving in a different pace and gait than we have in the past, and I am thrilled to see what's going to be coming in the future.
Yeah, I kept hearing those sentiments being echoed throughout the first few days of school, so you're right on with that one. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Suggs.
All right, so year 3, what would you say your focus is for your staff within the Rockwood School District and for students?
For staff, I think the strategic plan, and the reason I keep framing it and referring to it as a strategic plan is we don't actually have a name for it yet. We will develop that name over the course of this upcoming school year. This is going to help guide us for our next 5 years. We need a North Star. Any map will do if you don't actually have a plan of where you're going to go. This will be our map. This will literally be the blueprint that helps us decide and really codify where we're going and ultimately how we're going to get there. For students, I think the notion of instructional focus is going to be really, really important this upcoming school year. And so we're having a lot of conversations about resources, including specific smartphone and other smart devices, what that looks like in classroom spaces. It is not intended to hurt in any way, shape, or form a student's ability to connect with the world. But we need to make sure that when we're in our classroom spaces, we are really and truly maximizing every moment, every second that we have together. And so those are two pieces that I want not only our students, our staff, parents, but our community to be aware of as we're moving forward this school year.
Yeah, that seems to be a hot topic of conversation
Yes.
these days, so I appreciate you mentioning that.
Absolutely.
And expectations around it as well. So, Dr. Cain, we've been doing a lot with our dignity and belonging. You brought that to the board a few years ago now, and it's been moving through. We started last year with our cohorts, the beginning kind of pilot sessions.
Yes.
Now we're going into the new year with many, many schools being trained. So, has it met your expectations? And then what do you see going forward for this next cycle of trainings?
So to be very frank, I don't think it's actually met my expectations. I think it's far exceeded the expectations that I had in my brain in terms of where I was hoping we would be as a district and a community. We far exceeded that. Not only the school cohorts themselves, but our community cohort has gone exceedingly well, been very, very well received. We have a number of additional cohorts that act as supports to what's happening within the buildings themselves. It feels as though we're a collection of arrows that are pointed in one direction. And I'm excited about that synergy that comes when there's that degree of unanimity behind thought and effort as a school district. We want every student and staff member to know that when they're coming to school to either learn or to work in the Rockwood School District, this is home. And I'm excited that it's really us just revisiting a message that's been a long told one in our district. You're home, regardless of where you come from, regardless of what your walk looks like. When you're in our hallways, in our schools, in our departments, and various buildings as well, you're home when you're in the Rockwood School District. I think that's one of the reasons it's been so well received.
And do you think that that's so important to you because of the safety that home gave you when you were growing up, and you want that for our kids and families to feel?
So there is no feeling like home, and we have the gift of so much time with our students that they need to feel as though they are seen, heard, valued, and challenged ultimately when they're in school here. And so it is in many ways an extension of that. But especially in today's time, we need our young folks to know that they are okay. Even if there are challenges, they aren't going it alone. When folks go, not just students, when adults go down a mindset of I'm in this all by myself, it opens up a number of doors that we want to stay closed. Knowing that regardless of the challenge, the good, the bad, and the in-between, we're here and we'll work our way through it together.
Love that.
Thank you. Okay, so the strategic plan that you have mentioned a couple times now, for those of us who may be unfamiliar with what even a strategic plan is, can you enlighten us in that? And then what do you want to share about it to our community?
So every 5 years, we are to develop a comprehensive school improvement plan, which is in short called the CSIP. It is our strategic plan. It helps provide direction, not only in terms of effort and programming, but honestly budget as well. Where are we going to be going as a school district? What are we identifying as things that we do exceedingly well? Where are we in terms of spaces to improve? We're always going to be a district that's about continuous improvement, but what is it that we can do to best prepare students for their future, not our present? That's a part of the framing of the strategic plan. I'm excited for our community to be aware of this because I think we will do it best if we are able to, again, wrap around what's in the best interest of students and collectively figure out what that means and what that looks like. That could be everything from those that are proudly serving our nation in the military, those immediately headed into the world of work, those headed to a 2-year or 4-year institution. How do we best prepare students for their future?
Yeah, you know what, that's perfect. That's a perfect segue into my next question, which is, the beginning of the school year, you have the beginning students that just started. You have some that have been here for several years. Then you have some, they're on their way out, Dr. Cain. They're getting ready to graduate and maybe be in college or in the military. What message do you have for each of those groups? I know you've had your own children that have been in various stages as well.
It's interesting going through that process as a parent and
Yes.
seeing your child parachute in at the end of elementary school. Will they find a place? Will they find connection? Will they find a work or school home when they're at school? And you go through your own thoughts, emotions, concerns, to be very frank with you as a parent, but you have your hopes that they will find that. It's very affirming to know that this is a district that's done it very well for a very, very long time. And there are so many programs and efforts that are in place to help students understand that. That's all secondary. What counts first and foremost is that we have staff that understand what that means, how important it is for students to to know that they're home. Now that doesn't mean they aren't going to be challenged. That doesn't mean, we are not abolishing homework, right? We are not abolishing projects. We are not abolishing extended blocks of time where there's an expectation that they're reading, right? But there's a method behind our madness, and there's a purpose behind what we're doing, and it is preparation for the future. And so when I say safe, when I say challenge, when I say supported, I mean all of those components. And although you might not appreciate it when you're 14 or 15 years old, there will come a point in time when you will understand. Whether it's when you first sit in a lecture hall and you can feel others' degree of anxiety building because they don't have the preparation that you've had, there will come a point in time when all of the sweat equity that you're putting in right now will pay off.
100%. And what better place than Rockwood, right?
What a better place than this proud school district, absolutely.
And I do want to say that I think there was a collective sound of clicking off the computer when they heard you say, no, we're still going to have homework.
Oh, absolutely.
Just a little click there.
That's fine, but we have other means to make sure that they understand homework's coming.
We have all platforms platforms
Absolutely.
of ways to get this out.
Nice try, though. Nice try. I appreciate that.
It's always wonderful to have you, Dr. Cain.
Pleasure's mine.
A
Thank you so
pleasure
much.
always.
Thank you for your time and
Yes.
for your words, Dr. Cain.
Yes.
To our viewers and our listeners, thank you again for tuning in for this upcoming season of our podcast. You can listen to it on the department website or our district YouTube channel.
And we hope that you will also follow us on social media and watch it, because we're always either tweeting something out or making sure we have positive messages, because Rockwood is about that. It's about being safe, it's about positive, and it's home. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.